All right, man. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Daily Money Market. My name is Che Yusuf. It is actually the politics that actually, affect the global market or that actually shake the global market. The biggest story or the biggest news, in fact, at the moment is Donald Trump versus Cyril Ramaphosa talk that they had at the White House yesterday. It was around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock South African time to our side. There's a lot of things that they've been discussing in terms of allegedly genocide, white genocide that is happening in South Africa or that people think it's happening in South Africa. By the way, there's no white genocide in South Africa. I live here. We go hang around with the white folks, we chill with the white folks, we go eat with the white folks, we go to the clubs with the white folks, we go to mosque or churches with the white folks. So I don't see any type of a genocide that is happening in South Africa. I don't, it doesn't need me to go and stay in the farm to be able to see whatever that is being advocating about the farmer killers or the genocide, the white genocide in South Africa. So that's the biggest story that is shaking actually the global market and the global talks, the global politics at the moment, including adding up of the Starlink of Elon Musk, including tariff negotiation that they're gonna have that they were having Cyril Ramaphosa and as well as President Donald Trump. All right, let's check it out. This clip. Uh, this is the clip that Donald Trump actually, saying that there's emphasizing about the genocide, white genocides in South Africa, showing a lot of people queuing with the car, going at the grave. He's saying it's a grave of white folks that are being killed in South Africa. Horrible, horrible. It's happening in South Africa. But yeah, that's what happened.
Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is because this I've never seen. I don't. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa.
Please find out.
See the president, being treated right there. So you can tell that demonstration was actually demonstrating. It was a protest, the protest of actually white people protesting about the killing of the farmers that they were starting, I think, 3 years. And again, if you look at it, the killing of farmers were not actually, like for example. So you can tell the president was being dribbled right there. He didn't know where exactly this place is. I'm gonna try to put a picture of that. The Afrikaners were driving at a space where there's a graveyard. But again, this is where there's a crucial point that a lot of people need to focus here. What happened is during I think 2024 or 2023, Afrikaners were protesting because of the killing or the violence that is happening in the farmers. So what they did, they took the crosses, they go on an open space and actually, put those crosses at that open space, and they set up the day whereby all of them they go there and stand there to protest about the killing of people that are actually the white people that are farmers. So that was demonstrating to say that is this that is gonna happen actually for us, to show those mass grave, to say that is this what is gonna happen to us if this violence continued. That's a point number one. If you look at it in another point, for the fact that we are South African, we are staying here and we are saying there's no genocide. Now, why there's this type of emotion or this type of advertising in terms of a mass grave? It actually shows that there's people, an organization or group of people that are actually organizing this stuff. So they're making those crosses, whether they go to the plumber and say they make 5,000 crosses here, so that you can be able to, so that we can be able to demonstrate. and they go and put them at open space and they demonstrate. And that Donald Trump to take it as a very, very serious, that there's actually a mass killing of white people in South Africa is very, very not correct. So just to go a little bit further in terms of the stats of the criminal activities that are happening in South Africa, I'm going to try to put the Bloomberg clip that is there showing about the stats of South Africa and the criminals that are happening in South Africa. So just stay tuned, don't go anywhere. Okay, all right, check it.
About 22 companies from South Africa that have invested in the US, thus creating a number of jobs. And similarly, you've got almost 600 companies that have invested in South Africa, and some of them have been in South Africa for more than 100 years.
That's true.
So our links are really long-lasting, and we would like to recalibrate those relations between our two countries and discuss a whole range of issues, geopolitical, the work that you're doing to bring peace around the world, Ukraine, the Middle East. So we value that, and we are also a great contributor to peace processes that are going on around the world. And of course, we want to discuss how we can support each other. You are a much bigger economy than we are. We're just a tiny economy, but we rely on each other on an.
So that was clearly President Cyril Ramaphosa clarifying in terms of the economy, the bigger economy. And yeah, another thing that I actually remember that it was part of the table is the G20. South Africa currently, they're the presidents of the G20, and they have to actually transfer the presidency to the United States. United States has been voted to be the next G20 president. So also Secretary of the State, he said he doesn't want to come to South Africa for the G20. And again, Cyril Ramaphosa would like, or South Africa would like, Donald Trump to actually come to South Africa and be able to receive this G20, president, hand over the G20 president to Donald Trump. So that's one of the thing that it was on the table. But also, just to check how Donald Trump dodged the conversation about the criminal court justice, the International Criminal Court of Justice of Israel and South Africa. He actually dodged it. He didn't want to speak anything about it. Check this clip, how he actually dodged it.
Announced it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
I want to respond.
You gotta get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one.
Prime Minister Netanyahu about Israel removed defense of there. Being a lot of concern from European countries, the Pope has expressed concern. Are you going to be asking Prime Minister Netanyahu to tone down the offensive in Gaza to let more aid in?
Was that a question or a statement? This guy, you never change.
Mr. President, what would it take for you to be convinced?
Okay, so you hear that they actually ask back to the journalist that is that a question or a statement, but the journalist was actually asking about the ceasefire of Gaza, and that actually linked with the South African International Criminal Court, a criminal case that actually South Africa put on a criminal court. But what he says, is that a question or a statement? Dodge that question out. Now, here's the part that started all inyaga. That started all nonsense thing that actually makes South Africa look like idiots. South African president look like he doesn't know anything. Check this.
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him in.
Yeah, I'd rather
Our president will respond to you.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here, when we have talks between us on the quiet, around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it will take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question. But
So you hear President Ramaphosa say, I'm not going to repeat what I've been saying before, right? To Donald Trump. So he said that I'm not going to repeat what I said before to Donald Trump. If you want to know that there is no genocide in South Africa, please, Donald Trump, listen to these white guys that I come with. They're Afrikaners. Maybe they will clarify a little bit more further. That was crazy. I think personally, he could have just let Trump respond, hear what he's going to say for that response, and then construct, the response from the Trump. But well, the president didn't notice anything that is coming after that. All right, check it out.
A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of the revolution.
Alright, we're gonna go on and on on this, but what I can say is that after the journalists, I think it was actually South African journalists asked Donald Trump if what exactly is going to take for Donald Trump to actually believe that there's no genocide in South Africa. But then President Ramaphosa speak before Trump actually responds, saying that no, he's going to take Trump to listen to the white guys that they come with about John Steenhuisen, the Minister of Agriculture, Johan Rupert, the big boss, the big, the president, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. So in his justification to say that there is still killing of farmers in South Africa, he put the video of economic freedom fighters. So economic freedom fighters, to those that don't know, it is a political party that is ruled by Julius Sello Malema. It's one of the political party that actually have the mandate of fighting for economic emancipation. On that economic emancipation, they have this championing of land, expropriation land without compensation. So that's one of the big thing that in terms of white Afrikaners and in terms of white people in the United States, or Donald Trump and his Donald Trump crew, thinking that South Africa, it's actually on a genocide, killing white people and taking their farmers. It is because of that expropriation of land without compensation. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know, or maybe Mr. Donald Trump, president, doesn't know, is that expropriation of land without compensation, it's actually a magnum carta of EFF. It's the book, it's what EFF is championing. It's not what the government of South Africa is championing, number one. Number two, it's not on the Land Act. Expropriation Act, it actually come out, I think, last year, that they actually passed that act. That act doesn't say expropriation of land without compensation, or either it says willing seller to a willing buyer. If there is someone who think, you know what, maybe Donald Trump is right, I must just seek the refugees in the United States. If you have a farm, you can sell willingly, and then they're gonna look the market value of that land and giving you your money according to the market value. That's what it is on Expropriation Land Act. On Expropriation Land Act, again, what it says that you can expropriate land without compensation if the land is abandoned, if the land is not used, but it has to be in favor of the public. So you cannot just take land where because of its abandoned, while you can't do anything to benefit the people. But if the land is abandoned, you can be able to expropriate without compensation. There's no one there. But again, build something or do something that can be able to benefit the people of South Africa, black people in majority. Now, so Donald Trump played this clip of Julius Malema, talking about expropriation of land without compensation, but that's Julius Malema. That's not the government itself. That's not the policy of the government, right? Whether we agree us as South Africans that we need to expropriate land without compensation or not, but that's not the government policy. That's actually, the policy of economic freedom fighters. So they put that video to show President Cyril Ramaphosa that this is what is happening, in your country. They are singing "Kill the Boer," "Shoot to Kill," and so on. Again, about that song, it's been taken to a court for so many times. That song has been taken to court for in terms of hate speech, right? I think the first one was a human rights. They took EFF and Julius Malema for singing that song to court, to high court. And the second one, I think it was also Afroforum, the guys that actually represent the Afrikaners. They took Julius Malema and the EFF to court about that song. But the court of South Africa has actually ruled in favor of EFF so that they can continue singing that song. Now, just to bring a little bit of content about the song itself. The song is not about killing the Boers, taking their farm. The song was the liberation song that was there way back in the days when ANC and Mkondo Wesizwe as a liberation army movement was fighting to take over the apartheid. Their motto was like, we're gonna go there, take over the country, because now the country will put us on under apartheid. We're gonna do whatever we have to do to take that land, because black people were killed, black people were segregated, black people were pushed to the camps. In fact, if Trump come to South Africa and see the township and where black people are living and where white people are living, he couldn't even say what he's actually saying. So that song comes from those days with that concept that gives people a liberation idea or liberation oomph to say that we are going to fight for our country. That's why the song comes, "Kill the Boer, shoot to kill." But it was not to say we're going to kill the farmer or we're going to shoot the farmer to kill the farmer to take over the land. That was way back. Then democracy came with the President Mandela. Everything changed. But Julius Malema and the EFF revived that songs because they are saying they are fighting for economic freedom. The old regime fights for a right for us to vote, a right for us to participate in politics, a right for black people to walk around and do whatever that they want to do. But still, the economic, it's not under majority of people. That's why EFF championing the economic freedom fighter on our lifetime. That's what they say, economic freedom fighter on our lifetime, right? So championing to bring back the economy. That's why that song is being sung to pump up the supporters to say, guys, let's go to vote. Let's go to shoot, but not with a gun, with a ballot, not with a bullet, right? Malcolm X said that, a ballot or bullet, but not with a bullet, but with a ballot. But the concept is just coming from way back. And again, Donald Trump to pull up these, EFF songs. I mean, it's an opposition party. It doesn't represent anything about about the rules and regulations and manifestos of South Africa, and even the constitution of South Africa itself. All right.
Grusin, who's an other really, we call him really a great golfer too, Ernie, right? You two guys are fantastic. And we could add Gary to the group, Gary Player. What a group of golfers South Africa's had on
Yes, yes.
There must be something in the water, right?
Yes.
Something good. These two guys are
It's the
unbelievable.
water. It's the water, sir.
Yeah, Gary's Gary. And David Frost, also another one that I
Yes.
know is such a great one.
Indeed.
Was he as good a putter as they say, David? He's a putter. He's a putting machine, right?
Absolutely.
But he's another one. So something very good about South Africa in golf, and golf is still doing great in South Africa. And they have young players I hear coming up that are going to be very good. But it's an honor to have you here, and my friend, it's an honor to have you, one of the greatest businessmen in South Africa and long beyond. Thank you for being here. It's a very great honor. Appreciate it. So we're going to be discussing certain things. As you know, we have the G20 is going to South Africa. When is that going to be?
In November.
In November.
And thereafter, I hand over to you. And
Yes, we have it next.
you originated the G20, so I'll hand over the baton to you,
Right.
and then you lead the
That's-
G20
We're
in the
gonna have
world.
it. We're gonna have it the following
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
All right, man. That's it when it comes to politics that affected the global financial market. I really appreciate for actually watching this video. If you watch it all the way to this end, that means you really supporting this channel. So please subscribe and share with other guys. Let other guys to jump in the channel and subscribe so that we can have more followers, and it can encourage us to keep making these videos or any type of videos that we bring on our channel. So thanks a lot. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.